Good morning, everybody. We are here today talking about the 6 skills of the selling system, and today's skill is follow up. Yay! I know you guys are so excited about follow up. Um, Follow up is so important, and unfortunately, it's one of the things that consultants struggle with the most. If you ask people what they want to know about their business or what they need to improve, even like been here forever superstar directors with huge businesses, one of the things that they say they struggle with is follow up. Go figure. So we're going to talk about follow up today. We're going to talk about why you do it, how you do it, what do you do, all the things. So follow up really is about building relationships with your customers and hostesses and potential recruits. It is one of the ways that you can continue the conversation, right? Check in on them frequently. I don't know if you know this, but sometimes it takes 7 to 12 contacts before someone will say yes to you. So even if they are a potential or a prospect, somebody you just met, sometimes they need you to contact them 7 to 12 times before they finally take action and do something. So if you put it out there for them once and they don't buy from you, they don't book a party, they don't join your team, and you think, well, they're off the list. I followed up with them and they don't want nothing. It's not true. Sometimes you have to follow up 5, 6, 7, 10, 12 times before they do business with you. And I know that seems daunting, but it's why you have to prospect all the time and constantly add new people to your list, right? It is how we build relationships, and this is a relationship building business. The more relationships you have with the more people, the bigger your business. That's just the way it works. And follow up is how you do that. I want you to think about your email inbox right now. How many emails do you have from businesses like Target? I know Target is a big one for me. Kohl's. I have a ton from Groupon and Ulta. They email me all the time, and not just once a month, not just every other month, right? Not even once a week. Sometimes they email me 2, 3 times a day, every single day. Now, am I mad that they keep filling my inbox? Well, some days there's more than I'd like to look at, but I don't stop shopping there. And I often get emails from them that I don't open. I don't read them all, right? And so I hear that from a lot of people too. Like, I'm sending people emails, I'm sending them messages, and they never respond. Well, it's okay. They don't have to respond for it to count as a follow-up, okay? So just like your Target emails that you get, you're not going to read every single one. You're not going to even open every single one. But they have kept themselves front of mind. They've kept themselves in your view, and they've made themselves easily accessible when you need them. So when you need something, you go, oh, I'll just check that last Target email. I'll just check my email. I know there's an email from Target, and I'll be able to get there quickly, and I'll be able to check out what's on sale right now. I won't have to search or spend a lot of time. I know right where it is. And they are right front of mind because I have seen their email pop up over and over and over and over again. So when I need something, what do I think first? Ooh, Target. And that's what follow-up needs to be for your business. It's to keep you front of mind for your customers and your hostesses. It's so they don't forget about you. It's so when they walk into their house and it doesn't smell so good, they think, I need to contact Heather, my Scentsy lady, because this place stinks. But if you're not following up, then you're maybe not going to be the first thing that they think about. They might think, I need to grab some air freshener at the grocery store next time I go. They might be thinking, I don't know what they're thinking, but they ain't thinking about you. If you're not following up, they're not thinking about you. Maybe they forget about you altogether, but they know they love Scentsy, so they're just going to type into Scentsy.com, and guess what? Now their orders are going to the nearest consultant, which might not be you. Especially if you're not lead and you're not active, you aren't getting their orders because they don't remember you because you haven't followed up. But they do remember their Scentsy warmer, and so they're just going to pop on the internet, type in Scentsy, and find the closest consultant that is a leader above and active in their business, and those people are going to get their orders. So following up is super important, so important. You've got to keep yourself front of mind for your customers so that when they need you, you are easily accessible and right there for them. They know exactly how to find you. They remember you because you're always communicating with them and you're always checking in and you're always making sure they're good and they're okay. And so when they do finally need you, you are easy to find and they can get a hold of you. And they know and they're confident that you're going to be able to get them what they want quickly and efficiently. Because if that's not the case, that's a problem too. But so what do? Did you know that 70% of our customers only order one time? Once. And then they never order from us ever again? So that was actual research that Scentsy did on their customers, that 70% of the customers that ordered Scentsy only ordered ever one time. What does that mean? It means consultants aren't following up. And what does that mean? It means we're leaving a ton of money on the table. All of those people, you know they need more Scentsy. And if nobody followed up with them, then they bought something else. And all of that commission for all of those orders, all those reorders, could have been in our pockets, and now they're not. So follow up, don't leave money on the table. You're missing out. It's just laying there. You just have to go get it. Call them up, say, hey, give me that commission. Okay, so what do? There are many, many, many follow-up systems in the world. It doesn't matter which one you choose. It doesn't matter what you do. It just matters that you do something. Oh, just matters that you do something. You have to have some kind of system for following up with your people. That's just bottom line. So if you don't have anything in place just yet, today's the day that you can start to implement something, and just start now, because I know what happens. Over time, your order forms stack up and stack up and stack up, and you think, gosh, I really need to do some follow-up, and you don't, because you procrastinate, you put it off, and other things become more important, and so they stacks up and it stacks up, and pretty soon you've got this big old stack of order forms, and you think to yourself, oh my God, that's so much work, I have to call all those people, and now it's not fun, and guess what, you ain't never gonna do it. And then you just file them away and you start over, right? And so all of that opportunity, all those extra reorders have gone away. I know consultants that do they do their $500,000 in PRV only from reorders from their customer base. That's it. Follow up all day long, and that's how they make their money. So there are multiple follow-up systems, and you can use anything you want. If you Google or YouTube search Scentsy follow-up, is a great way to find some systems. There's a ton of follow-up training on the training center on your workstation. I believe I have a few videos on my YouTube channel, smilesandsensetv.com. So you can find a million different systems. You can use index cards and make an index card for each person and file them, and then have like a box with the months divided, right? And so you just put the person in the month that you need to follow up with them. I know that's a nice, easy. So once you follow up, say, okay, I want to follow up in 2 more months. So you just move the card to the next couple of months. So when you get to that month, you pull them all out. It's okay, these are the people I need to follow up with. Now I've done that, I'm going to move them 2 months out, whatever. You can use a binder and create like a little info sheet on each customer, and then move them through the month, through the dates. You can use a calendar. I know Allison Dalkey just uses a really cheap blank calendar, and when she talks to somebody and she knows she needs to follow up, she just writes their name like 2 weeks out. So I'm going to follow up with them in 2 weeks. I'm going to write their name right there on the calendar. Maybe I need to follow up with them in a month. So I'm going to flip to the next month and write their name somewhere and know that I'm going to follow up in a month. And so she just pulls off that calendar who she needs to follow up with. There are other more sophisticated binder setups. So I used to use, and I think there's a video for it, a follow-up binder where anything that needed to be ordered got an order form, and it went in the binder. It went in, let me see if I can show you. So kind of like, this is not a follow-up binder, but so I had dividers like this with pockets, little pockets. This is just a mini binder from Target. And so the orders would just go in those pockets, and they would go in one for 1 day or 1 week, and then 1 month, and then 3 months. And so I would just move them as I followed up. I would just move them from folder to folder to folder. And you can set up the timings as much as you want. So Scentsy teaches a 1-1-3. So they teach 1 week, 1 month, 3 months. I would even consider 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, and then 3 months. There's a 2-2-2 you might hear about, 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. I think I like that timing a little better. But you do what works for you is the bottom line, because if you're not going to do it, there's no point. And remember, progress over perfection. This is not a perfect world. This is not a perfect system, perfect business. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be perfect to be powerful. Love when Becca Levi says that. You just have to do something, right? Just do something. And every little bit that you do counts. Celebrate, pat yourself on your back. I got some follow-up done today. Woohoo! Even if it ain't pretty, you did it. And that's what's important. Now, I will tell you that emails, they do work. Texting and private messaging is better. A phone call is the best. But let's face it, most of the time, we don't like to talk on the phone. And to be honest, if somebody's going to follow up with me, I'd prefer that they message me or email me. I'd rather them not call me. So there are a lot of people in the world like that too. The best case scenario is you find that out, how the people like to communicate when you meet them, and then you use that system. So whatever they prefer to communicate. I have a lot of customers that prefer to Facebook message. I also have customers that do not go on Facebook very often, and they would prefer to text. And then I have those that we only communicate by email. So you find out what your customer prefers to communicate with, and you're going to get the best results. So what do you say when you're following up? So the first follow-up, whether it's 1 day, 1 week, 2 days, whatever, it's right after they've purchased their Scentsy from you. It's right after they've booked their party. It's right after they've joined your team, whatever, right? Right after. 1 day, 2 days, maybe. It's just a thank you. It's just being grateful and appreciative that they have come into the world, come into your world, and done business with you. That's all it is. Follow-up is not as difficult as people make it out to be. It doesn't have to be complicated. The words, you don't have to be perfect. It's about the intent behind the follow-up, not necessarily what you say, although you can say the wrong thing. You don't want to be salesy or nasty, but it's about the intent. And so your very first follow-up with people after they've purchased from you is to say thank you. And the sooner you can do that, the better. When I meet people for the first time, if we've chatted Scentsy, or if they've talked about maybe purchasing something from me or meeting up later, I try the same day, even 1 hour, never mind 1 day, to send them a quick message to say, it was so great to meet with you. It was so great to chat with you. Thank you so much for purchasing and supporting my business. That's it. You're just thanking them and showing your appreciation. Done. Follow-up number 1, check off. The second follow-up that you do with someone is to make sure that they are happy with what they got. That's what you want to know. And that's what really sets us apart from like retail stores. So if you go shop at Target and you bring your stuff home, nobody from Target is going to check in a week later and say, hey, you know that thing that you bought, did it work good? Do you love it? Is it what you thought it was? Did it make you happy? Did it fulfill your need? Nobody's calling. Nobody cares. They don't care if you like what you bought or not. But we care, and that's what sets us apart, and that's what sets you apart with your customers. And so it's really important that second follow-up, again, whether it is a week later, whether it's 2 weeks later, 1 month later, that you check in and say, hey, how do you love your stuff? Are you loving your scent that you received? Did you get your warmer working? Where did you put it in your house? I would love to know like how you're enjoying it. That's it. That's all you have to say. You're just checking in to make sure that they received their product, because a lot of times you're following up with guests from a party. You delivered to the hostess, right? But you're following up with the guest. So ultimately, you want to make sure she's received her product. And sometimes you'll find out that they haven't yet. And then you want to make sure she's using it. Because I have done that. I have followed up with people who said, oh, well, I haven't taken it out of the bag yet. I know it was a month ago that I got my stuff and I haven't opened it yet. I'm like, first of all, who does that? Because when I have new presents and stuff that I've purchased, I can't wait to open it. But it happens. And so your second follow-up is so, so important to make sure, one, they received their product, two, that they're using their product, and three, that they are happy and satisfied and loving their product. That is so, so important. I have also found out through this follow-up step that people don't know how to use their warmers. I have had people put whole entire bars of wax into their warmer, which we have learned since is okay if you have a really deep dish, but to me it just feels very wasteful. And they're not going to be satisfied if they have to use an entire bar of wax every week to change when they change their warmers. Like, that is just not going to be fun. But it's not fun to clean it out, and you're going to go through a ton of wax if that's what you're doing every time you change your wax, right? So it's not going to be efficient, and they're not going to be that happy, which means they're probably not going to order more if they're going through wax so fast. The other thing I have learned is I have asked somebody, how it was going, and they said, well, it lasts forever. It's been a whole month and it's still going. Well, yeah, there's still wax in the warmer, but it doesn't smell anymore. She's like, yeah, it's not very strong. Well, that's because it's been a month and your wax has no fragrance left and you have to change it. And people don't understand and know that all the time. And so that second phone call is also to make sure that they are educated and using their product correctly so that they can have the best experience with it. So you want to make sure they're happy. Find out which scent is their favorite, right? Get them attached to a favorite scent. So that way, if you want to send them a thank you gift later, or maybe it's their birthday, or they decide to host a party, you can bring them a gift that's something that they will love. Or you can offer suggestions for other scents. If you really love this, I know you're going to love this one. So that's a great thing too. So 2 months later, it's just, did you receive it? Are you using it? Do you love it? Right? That's it. Simple. You're not asking for sales. You're not asking for their money. They don't want to feel like every time they talk to you, you're asking for their money. And I promise that if you do that every single time, they will feel it and they won't like it and they will stop doing business with you. Follow-up is about building relationships. It's not about asking for money. So keep yourself front of mind, check in on them, make sure that they are happy. Let them know that you are there for them when they need you, and the business will come. So third follow-up. So we have thanked them for their order. We have checked in to make sure they are good to go. Third follow-up is going to be a little while out. So if you're doing 113, we're like 3 months out now from their first order. If you're doing 222, we're 2 months out from their first order. If they only ordered a 6-pack of wax, they need more, right? There's no way that if they're using their Scentsy that they still have wax, unless they bought a whole boatload of stuff. So this is the time where they should be running out of things that they purchased before, and if they're loving what they have, then they're going to want more. It's also been several months, so Scentsy will have had some promotions. We may have new buddies, we may have a holiday collection, perhaps a new catalog came out, maybe everything's on sale because it's the last month of the catalog. When you have months go by, these customers there are new promotions that you need to let them know about. So the third follow-up might be that you let them know whatever that new promotion is. Hey, I just wanted to let you know we have a new holiday collection out. I'm so excited about it. Are you interested in taking a look? I'm so excited about the new catalog that's coming next month. Should we schedule a time so you can sniff all the new scents? This is also the time, enough time has gone by and you've had enough connections with your customer that you have not asked for their money, that it's okay to make sure if they need anything. So I know it's been a couple months since you ordered. Are you running low on anything that can I help you get anything to refill your stash or something of that nature? Are you running low on anything? Are you needing any new scents? Whatever. So the third follow-up is, what can I get you? And let me let you know about all the new things happening, whatever that is. We have a new scent. I have some samples. Are you interested? I can bring it to you. Anything like that. So you want to reconnect with them. You want to get a new sale, a new booking, a new meeting, a new sniffing session. You want to get them on the next thing. You could also, a new customer who maybe they just ordered warmers and wax, you could offer them a borrow bag at this point. Be like, hey, I know you're loving your warmers and wax so much. I have a borrow bag. I'm looking for product testers for our laundry line. Are you interested? I'll bring you some laundry products you can try out and let me know how you like them. So once you get customers loving their warmers and wax, it's time to start introducing them to new products. And so you can offer them samples of other products. You can offer them borrow bags to try out some stuff. Maybe they do a borrow bag for their cleaning products and you hand them some counter cleaner and Scentsy Fresh and bathroom cleaner and let them borrow it for the weekend and then go see how they love it. So that is another opportunity to follow up. Now, the other way, the other system that is new to Scentsy, and I'm so very excited about, I don't know how I survived without Maven. You see Maven? Oh, I'm going to start it over so you can see it start up. Maven! Anyway, so Maven is a app on your phone, and it is Apple or Android, either way. And Scentsy has partnered with Maven. We are getting close to a year now. We did our trial back in February, I think. And Maven is basically a follow-up tool. It's a no-brainer follow-up system that you don't even have to think about, which is amazing. And so if you are not familiar with Maven, you need to comment right now, and I can send you some information or send you to the group. I also have a video. I went live a while back about Maven to give you some introductions about it. But those of you that are new probably are not aware about Maven. And it's seriously a lifesaver, you guys. Like I usually do my follow-ups at baseball practice and jiu-jitsu class, and when I'm traveling with the kids to do things, like that's when I do my Maven. Sitting in the doctor's office, waiting room, Maven. And I get all of my follow-ups done. I have followed up more and since I've had Maven than I have in the 7-8 years prior to that with Scentsy. It just makes it so easy and simple. And so Maven, if you pay for the premium, which is only $7.99 a month, super cheap, I think, for a business expense that is tax deductible. It will sync with your workstation. So every time somebody orders, or if you enter a party and you put in all the customers, it syncs with your workstation. And then it is set up on I think it's set up on a 113. So in one day, it will show up on a to-do list. So you get a to-do list for the day. And let me see if I can find a number one. I think I have some ones down here. I have a lot right now. I don't work on the weekends, so generally my Monday to-dos are a little bit bigger. So number one, right, that's one day. That's the first follow-up with this person. And so all I have to do is touch it, and it sends me to their contact. It shows me what their order was. And then I just have to choose which way I want to communicate. And if I select it, it already fills in the verbiage, which I can edit, so I can personalize it, make it sound like me. I can edit that verbiage, but it will automatically populate, and then I hit send, and I have followed up. Done. After that, you'll get another follow-up about a week later, and it will have a number 2. And then same thing, you click on it, you choose which way you want to communicate. It will automatically populate a new verbiage because it's the second follow-up, so the verbiage is a little bit different. And then it does it again with a number 3. So I have all these number 3s. I have lots of 2s and 3s today. So I have some number 3s there that I need to reach out. And so that will be the third contact. That will be like 2-3 months later, and the verbiage will be a little bit different. And then what Maven does is it pulls people that have been 4, 6, 8. I have people show up like a year later. This person has not ordered in 2 years. You should follow up with them. And so they will do that for you too, because we have not had Maven since the beginning of time. You can also create notes with people that you meet or prospects, or if you have a conversation with somebody randomly, you can create a note and a follow-up for those notes so that you don't forget to check in on somebody. I have a customer who's getting ready to have a baby in a couple of months, and I created a note that she was having a baby, and I attached a follow-up schedule so that I don't forget to follow up when she is due, so that I can just say, hey, how's the new baby? I don't want to forget that. That's important in building relationships. But I also don't have to use up my brain power to remember or keep a note somewhere that I don't lose. So I love, love, love Maven. And there's a ton of other features with it as well, including a social shop and online contact form. So when you meet random strangers out in the world, they can give you their information super easily without having drawing slips or needing a pen, which is so fun. So there's a ton of opportunity with Maven app. So if you are interested in that for follow-up, 100% worth it. If you're building a business, Maven is heaven sent. So that's really it about follow-up. Oh, the other thing that you need to know and remember is you can't follow up with people if you don't have their contact information. So there are some tips and tricks to getting people's contact information. One thing you can try, which I think works pretty well, and I have kind of fallen off this. I don't know why we stopped doing things that used to work, and then we stopped doing them for some reason. But if you just take a highlighter to your order form and do like that, that simple thing, people will actually fill it in. Because you know what happens? People actually see this, they put their name and address, and they don't even notice that this is here. A lot of times that's what happens. When you get an address and no phone or email, it's not because they didn't want to give it to you, it's because they didn't even see it. So if you highlight, right, they will see it all, and they will know that you want them to fill it out. Because what happens when you have to sign a paper, right? They highlight, be like, sign the highlighted spots. Or even online, the parts that you need to fill out are highlighted. So this is a quick tip in your basket parties, especially where you can make sure people give you their information. So quick tip, just highlight all the order forms. Great job for the children. Tell them to color up all the order forms. And that will help you get all the contact information without, because I know I get busy at a party and I forget to ask. I forget to check. And I don't say, and I get home and I'm like, crap, I don't have their phone number. It's no fun. The other thing you can do is play games at parties, like the cell phone game. You can be, at the very beginning, it's a great icebreaker. Be like, hey, everybody take out their phone, and I want you to text me your name and your favorite scent, or something silly, and the 8th person that gets through is going to win a little prize. So everybody's texting and trying to time it just right so they can win. But then you have all their information. You have their phone number in your phone, and you can just reply, right? Change the contact to their name. And I like to put the hostess party or how I met them so that I can remember who they are. I can also search the hostess, and then all of her guests show up, and then I can text them easily that way. So there's lots of little great tips. But a game like that at your party will get their information in your phone right away, whether they remember to write it on the order form or not. Maven, again, is another way when you meet people randomly out and about that you can get people's contact information so that you have it to follow up with, which is really amazing. That is all I have for follow-up. If you guys have any questions at all, please comment so I can go through and answer those for you. But follow-up is pretty easy, guys. It really comes down to building relationships with people, letting them get to know you and getting to know them so that you can serve them the best, making sure they are happy with what they get and know how to use it so they can have the very best experience. And it's about keeping you front of mind. Whether they're ready to order from you all the time or not, whether they seem to read or respond to any of your messages, doesn't matter. You are keeping yourself front of their mind, so when they need you, they know that you're there. And that's the bottom line with follow-up. If you don't have a system, you need to create something. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be fancy. It just has to be something. And I want you to make sure that you celebrate your progress. Even if you do a little bit, it's better than nothing. Okay, so don't worry about being perfect or getting every single one done. Some is better than none. More is better than less, but some is better than none. So celebrate every time you do it, because I know how hard it can be. Follow-up is definitely out of our comfort zone for a lot of us, and so please pat yourself on the back and consider it a job well done for any follow-up that you do. And as you do it, it becomes more comfortable and less scary, and you will find that when you follow up with people, people actually love it. They'll send you back messages that say, hey, I don't need anything, but thanks for checking in. You're welcome. Or they'll message back and be like, hey, you reminded me how much I loved my Scentsy, so I placed another order. You go to your website and there's an $80 order waiting for you. That actually happened a few weeks ago. So you never know what might come from your follow-up, but nothing will come from it if you don't do it. So get out there, check in with your people, just make sure they're happy. Just say thank you, make sure that they're happy and that they're loving what they've got, and let them know that you're there when they need something else. Hope you guys all have a great week. We will talk to you tomorrow for the last skill in our 6 skills of the selling system. Party with a Purpose workshop. It is sponsoring. Another very scary prospect for many of us. It's also one that people always have questions about. How do you do it? What's the magic? So we're going to talk about what the magic is and how to sponsor. And so I'm super excited. But if you want to make money in this business and you really want to grow and make a paycheck, a bigger and bigger paycheck every month, sponsoring is the key to that. So you really have to focus in and learn how to do it and practice doing it often. So we'll be talking about sponsoring tomorrow, and I hope you guys have a great day.